run around.
The two of them.
They're cousins.
Oh my gosh, so fun.
Yeah.
Let them loose.
She worked it out.
How are you? How are you?
What did she do for me? Which one? They're both fun.
All yours.
Good evening, everybody. So nice to see everybody here. You may or might not know, we haven't had heat in this building for 2 days, so it's good to have a lot of people here. Normally, we don't have anybody, so I'm glad to see so many smiling faces and support. So, welcome. This is the Borough of Allendale Combined Work and Regular Sessions. It's December 5th at 7 p.m. Linda, will you please call the meeting to order and read the Open Public Meeting Act announcement?
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, the notice requirements have been satisfied. The meeting dates for the year are confirmed at the annual meeting, are posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and on the borough website, published in the record within the first 10 days of the new year, and copies are sent to the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger. Notice of this meeting by the November 21st, 2024 Sunshine Notice was sent to the record, the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger, and has been posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and borough website. Councilman Delavatio.
Here.
Councilwoman Homan.
Here.
Councilwoman Lovasolo.
Here.
Councilman O'Connell. Councilman O'Toole.
Here.
Councilman Yakarino.
Here.
Mayor Wolzinski.
Here. Everybody, please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the state of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so we're going to get our business done very, very quick so we because we have a lot of special things to do and honor this evening. So first we have our approval of minutes, November 14th, work and regular meeting. Do I have a motion? So moved. Second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Delavatio.
Yes.
Councilwoman Homan.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lovasolo.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell.
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole.
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
Thank you. Al, there's a seat right here in the front, if you like. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. Welcome, the mayor of Saddle River. Okay, next we have our consent agenda. These are matters that are considered routine and they're enacted in one motion. I'm going to just go pull out a couple of things so everybody can see some of the work that we're doing. We've got our interlocal court agreement with Ho-Hocus that we're renewing for next year. And we actually are hiring Burgess Associates, who is our planner, who is also now going to be our professional in our fair share housing plan. The fair share housing is something that I've been talking about for quite some time, and at every meeting, it's something that every municipality is going through. And so now we have a team, and Ed Burgess is actually an integral part of that team, so we can navigate through our extremely high numbers. We have actually some more dispatchers that we're bringing on board, and we have our list of bills. You check that, Suzanne Lovasolo. Did you check the list of bills?
I absolutely did.
All righty. And then we actually have the last approval payment of our streetscape. We're really happy to see that that's actually done before the winter. And our last meeting, our reorg meeting is actually scheduled for January 6th of next year. And all of our meetings next year are going to start at 7 o'clock instead of 7:30. Woohoo! So do I have, first I'd like to open up to the public. Does anybody from the public wish to speak on anything on the agenda? Not seeing anybody. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved, Homan.
Second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Delavatio.
Yes.
Councilwoman Homan.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lovasolo.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell.
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole.
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
Super, thank you. Okay, so we have a couple presentations. First, we have the Boy Scouts. Is he here, the Boy Scout? Is he here? Do his presentation? Oh, well, that's too bad because it actually had to do with, I'm like, you have a great audience with all the firefighters here.
Yes, I do not see him.
Do you have his text? Maybe you could text him. Maybe he thought it started later.
Maybe.
All right, next, then I'm gonna move on and read a proclamation for Pearl Harbor Day. Well, what's going on? So for Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day, whereas December 7th, 1941 marks the day when the United States was thrust into World War II as Imperial Japanese Navy launched a surprise attack on the United States Naval Base at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. And whereas this unprovoked attack resulted in the loss of over 2,400 American lives, including military personnel and civilians, and caused extensive damage to the Pacific Fleet. And whereas the bravery and heroism displayed by the men and women who served that day, as well as the subsequent efforts by the armed forces and the American people, helped to shape the outcome of the war and secure the freedoms that we enjoy today. And whereas December 7th is a solemn day of remembrance, recognizing the sacrifice of those who perished and honoring the resilience and courage of all who served during this pivotal moment in American history. And whereas the Borough of Allendale, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, acknowledges the importance of preserving the memory of Pearl Harbor and the lasting impact it has on our nation, and commits to educating future generations about the lessons learned from this historic event. Now, therefore, I, Amy Wilzinski, Mayor of Allendale, do hereby proclaim December 7th, 2024 as Pearl Harbor Day in the Borough of Allendale, and call upon all citizens to observe a moment of silence in remembrance of the lives lost and to reflect on the strength and resolve of our nation during times of adversity. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of Allendale to be affixed to this December 5th, 2024 proclamation. All right. Next, we have the Women's Club, who would like to come up and give a little presentation. Do we have a Women's Club representative? Come on up, Laura. So you can stand there and kind of face, I guess, face everybody. You can actually, if you would like, actually, why don't you take the microphone and actually put it this way, and then stand on this way so you can face everybody. I think that would work better. Thanks.
Backwards.
We probably should have the dais the other way, but all right.
My name is Laura Denoya. I'm from the Women's Club. I'm the co-president along with Denise Legalia. And we wanted to come here and give our congratulations and our appreciation to Officer Dunn and to all of the officers and the fire department and everybody who was involved in that incident and helped out. The Women's Club, like everyone else in town, was really touched by what happened, and we wanted to do something really special. I reached out to Lieutenant Griffith so that we could get an idea of what we could do that was special and memorable for this support that we wanted to give. And he recruited Officer Ford, who I don't. And Officer Ford came up with this great idea, and it is a pin that everybody can wear and support it. If you want to see what this pin looks like, there are an awful lot of people here who are wearing it on their sweatshirts. And it says Done Strong. And this pin is to be worn on the lapels of all of the first responders who provided the care, who will be able to support you through all of your recovery and to pay allegiance to you for everything that you've given in support of what you have been doing for us. And we want to say thank you. And we have enough pins for all the first responders, and I think we might have enough pins for Saddle River too.
You have one on right now, Laura?
Yes, I do.
Don't hurt them. Don't hurt them anymore.
Thank you.
Get the jacket.
Yeah.
Tyler, we're going to do ours down there. We're going to do our pumpkin.
I have all my words in it's by cabinet, like super house right left and a half. Yes. Of course.
Yeah, come on over here. Yeah.
He loves that.
Stay there for the rest of the meeting.
You're stuck there, but.
Yeah, there you go.
Come on down, right away.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see it.
I know.
All right, we're going to come down now and do the rest of our proclamations. Did the Boy Scout show? Or not?
They did say right there.
Yeah.
You're not like anybody's looking at you.
A proclamation honoring police officer Dimitri Ford for his rapid response on October 5th, 2024. Whereas on October 5th, 2024, a serious motor vehicle crash occurred involving a Borough of Allendale police officer and a Borough of Saddle River police officer. And whereas the Borough of Allendale is deeply committed to the safety and well-being of its residents and recognizes the critical role that the members of the Allendale Police Department play in safeguarding our community. And whereas Police Officer Dimitri Ford of the Borough of Allendale Police Department responded swiftly and with tremendous professionalism to the scene of the accident, displaying courage, compassion, and calm under the most challenging circumstances. And whereas Police Officer Ford acted with great dedication, providing immediate assistance to those involved, securing the scene, and ensuring that first responders had access to the injured parties in a timely and effective manner. And whereas the actions of Police Officer Ford on October 5th, 2024 were instrumental in managing a complex and dangerous situation, helping to protect both fellow officers and the public. And whereas the Borough of Allendale recognizes the exemplary service demonstrated by Police Officer Ford and wishes to express its sincere appreciation for his efforts and contributions to the safety and security of our community during this critical event. Now, therefore, I, Matthew O'Toole, Council President, on behalf of Mayor Amy Wazinski, the Borough Council, and the residents of Allendale, do hereby proclaim Police Officer Ford is hereby recognized and honored for his heroic response and selfless dedication to duty on October 5th, 2024, in the aftermath of the motor vehicle crash involving Mark Dunn, a police officer from the Borough of Allendale, and John Lockton Jr., a police officer from the Borough of Saddle River. Be it further proclaimed that the Borough of Allendale is proud to have Police Officer Ford serve as part of our community's law enforcement team, and we commend his professionalism, commitment, and unwavering dedication to the protection of our residents. This proclamation shall be presented to Police Officer Ford as a symbol of our appreciation for his courageous actions and exemplary service. In witness hereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the Borough of Allendale to be affixed this 5th of December, 2024.
So next we have a proclamation for our dispatcher, Tara, that Tyler's going to read. She couldn't make it here today, but we'd like to get it on the record.
A proclamation honoring dispatcher Tara LeBlanca for her vital communication role on October 5th, 2020. Whereas public safety dispatchers play a critical role in ensuring the well-being of our community by serving as the vital communication link between those in need and emergency responders. Whereas on October 5th, 2024, dispatcher Tara LeBlanca, serving the Borough of Allendale Police Department, displayed extraordinary professionalism, composure, and skill in responding to a motor vehicle accident involving 2 police officers. And whereas dispatcher LeBlanca demonstrated exceptional situational awareness and swift action by coordinating emergency services, ensuring the safety of the officers involved, and the efficient handling of the incident. And whereas the dedication and quick thinking of dispatcher LeBlanca exemplify the highest standards of public service and reflects great credit upon the Borough of Allendale and its police department. Now, therefore, I, Tyler Yacarino, Councilman of the Borough of Allendale, on behalf of the Borough Council and Mayor Wazinski and our grateful community, do hereby recognize and commend dispatcher LeBlanca for her outstanding service and invaluable contributions to public safety during this critical incident. Be it further proclaimed that this proclamation be presented as an expression of our heartfelt gratitude and appreciation for Dispatcher LeBlanca's exemplary actions and unwavering commitment to the public safety of our community. Proclaimed this 5th day of December 2024 in the Borough of Allendale, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey.
Mayor Serpent, would you like to come up? Next, we have a proclamation for Officer John Lacker Jr. So this is a proclamation honoring Police Officer John Lacker Jr. for his sacrifice and courage on October 5th, 2024. Whereas on October 24th, 2024, Police Officer John Lacker Jr. of the Saddle River Police Department was performing a police stop when he was struck by a drunk driver, resulting in injuries. Whereas, despite the traumatic nature of the incident, Officer Lacker demonstrated remarkable courage, composure, and resilience in the face of a life-threatening situation. And whereas Officer Lacker's action on that day as a law enforcement officer was dedicated to protecting the community, reflects the higher standards of public service and his commitment to duty and the safety of the residents of Saddle River, and is an inspiration to us all. And whereas the Borough of Allendale acknowledges the sacrifices made by Officer Lacker and the impact of this incident on his physical, emotional, and professional well-being, as he continues to demonstrate immense strength and resilience during his recovery. Now, therefore, I, Amy Wilzinski, Mayor of the Borough of Allendale, on behalf of the Borough Council and all the residents of Allendale, do hereby proclaim that Officer John Lacker Jr. is hereby recognized and honored for his bravery and selflessness and for the sacrifices he made in service to his community October 5th, 2024. Be it further proclaimed that the Borough of Allendale offers its deepest gratitude for his years of service and commitment to the safety and security of the community, and this proclamation shall be presented to Police Officer John Lacker Jr. as a symbol of our appreciation, admiration, and solidarity. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the Borough of Allendale to be affixed on this 5th day of December 2024. Come on up. So this is a proclamation honoring Sergeant Jamie Hill Gardner for her leadership and dedication on October 5th, 2024. Whereas on October 5th, 2024, a serious motor vehicle accident occurred during a routine traffic stop involving a Borough of Allendale police officer and a Saddle River police officer who were struck by a drunk driver. And whereas Sergeant Jamie Hill Gardner, upon learning of the incident, demonstrated extraordinary leadership, courage, and composure by swiftly responding to the scene, coordinating emergency assistance, and ensuring the safety and well-being of all individuals involved. And whereas Sergeant Hill Gardner's decisive actions were instrumental in mitigating the impact of the incident, providing critical support to the injured officers, and facilitating the seamless collaboration of multiple responding agencies. Whereas her professionalism, dedication of duty, and steadfast commitment to public safety exemplify the core values of the Borough of Allendale Police Department and reflect credit upon herself and the Borough of Allendale. Now, therefore, I, Amy Wilzinski, Mayor of the Borough of Allendale, on behalf of the Borough Council and our grateful community, do hereby formally commend and recognize Sergeant Jamie Hill Gardner for her exemplary service and heroic actions in the face of this critical incident. Be it further proclaimed that this proclamation be presented as a testament to Sergeant Hill Gardner's dedication and unwavering commitment to protecting and serving our community. Proclaimed this 5th day of December 2024, the Borough of Allendale, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey.
You want me to have?
Chief Dillon, I need you at the front. Okay. Then I got him in there.
What about you guys?
Come on
Yeah.
I have the honor to push him, so I'm gonna put him in the middle.
Yeah. Come on, Dan. Not my ankle, but I'll take it. Okay, I got a couple.
All right. Police Officer Mark Dunn. So this is a proclamation honoring Police Officer Mark Dunn Jr. for his bravery, courage, and selfless actions on October 5th, 2024. Whereas on October 5th, 2024, while responding to an emergency in the neighboring town of Saddle River, Officer Mark Dunn Jr. of the Borough of Allendale selflessly assisted Officer John Lacka of Saddle River Police Department in their efforts to maintain public safety. And whereas during this dangerous and heroic mission and unwavering commitment to his duty despite the risks he faces every day, Officer Dunn was struck by a drunk driver, severely injuring him, and he now faces a long and challenging road to recovery. And whereas despite the physical and emotional challenges he has faced, Officer Dunn has demonstrated remarkable strength, resilience, and determination throughout his recovery process. And whereas, sorry, she gets me every time. Where was I? I got it. Whereas the Borough of Allendale stands in solidarity with Officer Dunn as he embarks on this difficult journey to recovery and expresses its full support to Officer Dunn and his family during this challenging time. And whereas Officer Dunn's courage, perseverance, and indomitable spirit is shown in the face of diversity reflect the highest ideal of public service. And the Borough of Allendale remains deeply grateful for its dedication to the safety and well-being of our community. Whereas the actions of Officer Mark Dunn exemplify the highest standards of courage, professionalism, and dedication to public service, and he continues to serve as a symbol of valor, inspiration within our community. Whereas the Borough of Allendale recognizes this extraordinary act of bravery that contribute to the protection and security of our neighboring communities. Now, therefore, I, Amy Wildinski, Mayor of the Borough of Allendale, on behalf of the Borough Council and all its citizens of Allendale, do hereby extend our deepest gratitude to Officer Mark Dunn, Jr. for his courage, selflessness, and sacrifice. We honor and commend Officer Dunn for his service and wish a full and swift recovery as he continues to embody the spirit of public service that strengthens our community. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the Borough of Allendale to be affixed on this 5th day of December, 2024.
Say a few words, Mark.
I think he's gonna be doing a lot of public speaking, so he should get used to it. And take one the other way too. Yeah, you got the picture. Well, somebody take the phone for doing it. Send me that, Henry.
Yeah.
I got a bunch over here. Sure.
And I did not send.
Good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Me? This one? The chairs got moved around. I need my extra. All right. Actually, before we continue, we have a Boy Scout here who has a quick presentation. Josh, where are you? His dad is one of our firefighters, gonna be saying. And, and he has a presentation, which is kind of cool because it has to do with, the fire department. You're on.
Hello, my name is Joshua Bello, and I am an Allendale resident and a senior at Northern Highlands. I am here to present my Eagle Scout project idea for the town of Allendale. My project suggestion is to paint a yellow Maltese cross 2 feet from the curb adjacent to each city fire hydrant, not a fire hydrant owned by county or state. Firefighters can have a difficult time seeing fire hydrants at times due to weather or other things in the way of sight. The bright yellow painted Maltese cross could be helpful in an emergency when trying to locate a hydrant close to an incident if there is no time when driving by. Even after snow being plowed, the yellow Maltese cross would be bright and stand out to help in an emergency situation. I am asking the town's permission for this project as I feel it would be beneficial to the fire department and the community. For materials, I would be asking for donations from businesses in town, Home Depot, and other hardware stores to contribute to my project. I would also be doing fundraisers as well as collecting funds for materials. For manpower, I would be asking volunteers from Troop 59 and the parents from Troop 59 to assist with the plan. In conclusion, as time and years pass, the Maltese cross starts to fade, this would be a great future Eagle Scout project for another Troop 59 Scout to repaint the cross. Thank you for your time, and I hope to be able to contribute to Allendale community and safety.
Well, it sounds like a good project to me. What do all the firefighters think? And I understand your brother is doing the same in Saddle River.
Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah.
So you'll be doing this in front of,
There's
Mayor Kerpeth? Oh, there you are. So, it sounds like a great idea. Anybody have any questions or comments?
I'm just thrilled. I said it's Eagle projects are awesome, and to choose something that really benefits all Allendale residents. Wonderful.
Thank you.
We have our Allendale Fire Chief here. Greg, you good? All right. Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Now I'd like to call up Chief Dillon. I know he has a couple words he'd like to say.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. On behalf of each and every member of the Allendale Police Department, thank you to the mayor and council for recognizing the sacrifices and professionalism of everyone involved in the response to this critical incident. I would like to thank the community for their outpouring of support for Mark, his family, and the department. Thank you to Mark, John, Jamie, Dimitri, and Kara for their commitment to public safety in Allendale and Saddle River. Dispatcher LaBanca is currently working the Allendale Police Desk. That's why she couldn't be here. Councilman Yacarino and myself will be presenting to her at her workplace after this. Pastor Charles Swindoll is quoted as saying, "Life is 10% of what happens to us and 90% of how we react to it." We can apply this quote broadly to the field of public safety, more specifically to the events of October 5th. Mark and our department are a living embodiment of this quote. We aren't defined by what happened. What defines us is Mark's recovery and how everyone came together to support a team member in need. Thank you again for your support and guidance as we navigate not only this challenge, but obstacles to come. Thank you.
Does anybody else from the community wish to speak?
On October 6th, early in the morning, it was very difficult. The chief called me and we traded places. He took over. I took over in town and he took over. I heard your voice in the background. So that was so good.
Mine?
Yeah. So that morning, and then I didn't mean to be rude. I said to Mike, 'cause we're good friends, and I know the voices in the background. I knew it wasn't his wife or his daughter Elizabeth. I said, "Who's that?" So I said, "The mayor." I said, "What's she doing there?" She said, "Hey." But being out with us that early in the morning, that quickly,
Oh, I'm up brilliant.
no, but being out with us with the police chief and heading to Carlstadt to the Dunn's household,
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was really, I was so impressed. I really appreciate it. I also appreciate Mark Dunn Senior, who lets me dress in full uniform in honor to push his son.
Aw.
And Chief Tom Cox from Carlstadt was sort of let me take over part of the escort with motorcycles and everything to his town. And Carlstadt Police Department was with us and Chief Dillon the whole way. But thank you so much, Madam Mayor.
Sure. Anybody else wish to come up and speak? Come on up, Sergeant.
Roast of Mark Dunn. So I don't know which way to face, but, no, then we'll get to we'll all filter out. But, as the mayor said before, I'm Sergeant Jamie Hillgardner. I'm Mark's direct supervisor, and I was working the night, the incident and whatnot. The one thing I just wanted to point out from being somebody that was on scene and that's worked with Mark over the last year and a half as a police officer, but he was also our dispatcher, was his initiative. That's something being his direct supervisor that I saw on a daily basis, whether it was picking up traffic cones, setting up no parking signs, or going out there and, you know, getting dirty when things got tough. And earmuffs, Mom, but whenever things were more of a dangerous situation or more chaotic, Mark was the first one to volunteer, and I think we can all kind of say that collectively as a group. That evening, some of you aren't even aware of, that's why I kind of want to point it out as well. During our 12-hour shift, within like a 2-mile radius over a span of like 2-3 towns, there were 4 DWIs that were investigated, let alone you don't even know how many people were actually driving intoxicated. 3 of those Mark was directly involved with. So just a quick backstory on that night. Earlier in the night, Mark actually assisted Baldwick Police with a DWI on one of their side streets. A lot of people don't know that. Mark's the kind of guy that when you call for backup or another town needs something, it's not even a request to go help out that town. He kind of just tells me. It's one of those scenarios. So I trust in that sense. And then we came in, we had dinner, and literally before we could even go back out on the road, Saddle River, Officer Laka, who was also doing proactive stop, and we all know how dangerous the highway is late at night and all that kind of stuff. So another, piece of information too. Before I could even answer Mark as to like who was going to go up there, he just zipped up his vest and said, "Do you mind if I go out?" And it was kind of one of those things where I'm like, I guess, because you're already 2 steps out the door. So I just wanted to point that out. And obviously the 3rd DWI was, the one that injured Mark. And, some of you guys don't even know, hours after the incident, Chief Dillon and I were coming back from the hospital, and Nick and Trip were working, and a 4th DWI hit a Ramsey rescue truck that was helping with the investigation on the highway. Were ultimately stopped in Allendale, arrested, and processed. So that's just shows the dangers, as nice of an area as this is, and a small town and stuff, we do face those dangers a lot more often than the general public tends to know. I think everybody came together, everybody was hands on deck. So I think the police department, dispatchers, everybody did a great job, and the community's been awesome. I've been on traffic details, and we're getting asked, "How's Mark doing? What can we do to help?" The Girls on the Run program I did were already involved with that. Girl Scouts helped out with stuff. So, the more support, the better. But I did just want to point out, there's a million adjectives that have been thrown around for both Mark and John. But the one thing, both of them were being proactive and took, initiative to, maintain safety for the motoring public. So I just wanted to mention that. And, Mark, I would.
Anybody else like to come up? Anybody over there? Who? Dimitri? Yeah, no?
I don't want to come up there because I can't speak in front of people, but I just want to thank everybody for the love. It's unbelievable support you've done. And if I come up there and try to thank everybody, I'm going to get somebody around the start crying. So we feel it. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, of course.
And if you start crying, the mayor's gonna start.
I know. I have to learn not to look at it. All right, so I'd like to bring it back to the council. Does anybody from the council have anything to say?
Well, I'd like to say what a tremendous honor it is to be here amongst all of these heroes in this room, our police, as well as all the first responders that are here tonight. What a blessing it was that everyone involved on that October day acted so professionally and so quickly, and that Mark is on the mend. And finally, what a blessing it is that we live in the community that we do, that shows so much love and support. Like, I'm getting choked up now. That shows so much love and support towards each other. I'm very thankful. So thank you to all of you.
Well said, Susan. Anybody else?
I mean, I think, Suzanne, that was a great statement. Thank you to all of our first responders who do every day, and certainly best wishes and continued healing.
Having been a fireman a long time ago, I value the first responders out there, and I'm proud to call you, a lot of you, my friend. So I just wish you all the best. Don't get hurt, and keep us safe like you always do. Thank you so much for everything you do.
So I have just something to say as well. Really happy to see everybody here tonight, as we recognize all the brave police officers, but especially those who were injured that day, John and Mark. But to all the law enforcement that is here today, the firefighters, the ambulance in this room, you all embody the highest ideals of service, selflessness, bravery, and dedication, and a strong sense of community. You all step into situations that we all would run from. You confront danger head on to safeguard the well-being of others, and a lot of people can't say that they would do that. You do this to ensure the safety and security of our families, our homes, our communities, our neighborhoods. The experience that night has left such a lasting impression on our community. I've never really dealt with anything like this before in our community. The outpouring of support is really what makes Allendale so special. And it really shows how loved and supported our offices are to everyone. And especially, where's our William Patterson cops? I told you in the interview that Allendale loves our police officers. So to everybody involved in that night, from the dispatchers to all the officers, I can't imagine how this impacted you. And of course, especially Mark. The injuries that you sustained that night are a reminder of the risks that you all take every single day. It's a reality that many of us do not fully understand, but we deeply respect. So please know you're not alone. We stand beside you. We're committed to supporting you in your recovery, and we honor all of your contributions. To Mark and his families and all the families and our police department, led by Chief Dillon, I know the impact that this has had on our police department, especially, of course, our chief. And I mean, I know Jamie, you were there. Sergeant Jamie Hillgartner was there every step of the way, including that night. And we really heard how amazing you were that night, like how calm you were and kept everything under control. It really is amazing. It really is amazing. And I was there when you were so young, first coming to the borough, and it just makes me, it really does. It makes me so proud. you were a baby. And then I know Dimitri, he was, you guys are great friends. I'm so glad you were there. I'm so glad Gregor was there as well. And I know how much that meant. And of course, Lieutenant Todd Griffith, you've been there, for him every step of the way, how everybody really stepped up and really rallied. I just couldn't be more proud of all of our officers who have supported Mark and will continue to support Mark until he gets back on his feet. So whatever you all need, we absolutely have your back because you've had our back the whole entire time. So this evening, just want to express our profound gratitude, not for what you have done, but for all who you are. You guys are all the best of us. Your sacrifices uphold the values that bind us as humans and a community. We're all inspired by you. We thank you for your courage, your sacrifice, and your service. Finally, we honor you for not only as police officers and heroes, but your role models, and you're all cherished members of all the communities that you serve. So thank you so much. So now I'd like to open up the meeting one more time to anybody that would like to speak. You?
I would still like to speak.
Yeah.
Uh, One of the things I'd like to say, and Mayor, you said it yourself, is you look around this room and you see community, you see partnership, you see friendship. And yes, the events that happened on that day were truly tragic. But one of the lessons that we take out of that day is moving forward and the lessons that we've learned and the things we reflect on and the things to which we are grateful. Not only were these communities affected, but so many communities that I've heard throughout the state of New Jersey, as I'm sure you've all heard as well, know what happened on that day and realize that the tragedies that happen every day and the things that could happen that first responders face daily are challenges that you never expect, but we know that the men and women of our community, law enforcement, and our surrounding community enforcement are 100% prepared to deal with the utmost professionalism. Mark, we continue to wish you well. And again, thank you all for your service.
Anybody else from the public? All right, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks so much for coming.
Oh, well, no, we have some things to read.
Oh, yeah. Actually, thanks. I was gonna forget that. Where's Dimitri? Can you put this back on for Dimitri? Dimitri? Jamie?
We're gonna look at a new one.
Oh, yeah, we always enjoy our teams when it's tough.
Oh, my gosh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I added you on Facebook.
Feel like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Sorry. How are you? No, thanks for calling that, because most people don't realize that was not every day. That wasn't my own whistle. We were settling in. We were settling in. For some good stuff.
And this is for you. Thank you.